Thank you, Mr. President. I rise this evening to call up and pass a resolution recognizing this year's NCAA champions in women's volleyball, the Huskers from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. This is the program's 5th national championship and 2nd title in 3 years. During the NCAA tournament, Nebraska played remarkably well, winning 18 sets and finishing on a 19-match winning streak. They were so fun to watch. The entire team contributed to the outstanding victory, and I want to acknowledge their extraordinary effort. Annika Albright, Michaela Fecky, Hunter Atherton, Haley Densberger, Allie Havers, Brianna Holman, Kinsey Maloney, Kelly Hunter, Chesney McKellen, Sammy Slaughter, Lauren Stiffrens, Jazz Sweet, Ineshka Zabo, and Sydney Townsend all had their hard work pay off, and they worked together to win a championship. The Nebraska coaches worked hard, helped train our athletes, and strategize this championship run. Head coach John Cook won his 4th national championship as a Husker head coach. He was joined by assistant coach Tyler Hildebrand, assistant coach Kayla Banworth, volunteer assistant coach Ryan Combs, director of operation Lindsay Peterson, video coordinator Kelly O'Connor, and graduate managers Joe Klein, John Henry, and Bree Mackey. Together, as a team, they guided that outstanding group of women to another national championship. These coaches have created a foundation and a winning tradition. Winning the national championship in front of a record-setting crowd of Husker fans are the best fans in college football. Nebraskans couldn't be more proud of this volleyball team and the coaching staff. The Huskers won this national championship the Nebraska way, with hard work, sportsmanship, and determination. They deserve to be saluted by the Senate, and I urge my colleagues to pass this resolution and recognize their outstanding accomplishment. I congratulate them on their victory and know that they will continue to be great role models to girls and athletes everywhere. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.
President.
The Senator for Nebraska.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to my senior senator for leading us in this resolution. Nebraska volleyball continues to dominate. If there is any debate about the best volleyball state in the union, there should be no more. Nebraska has proved yet again that we have the best team, the best coaching staff, and indisputably the best fans in the country. 2 years ago, this team won the national championship at home in Omaha, setting records with the crowds that attended the games there. And last week in Kansas City, we set another all-time record with the most watched championship volleyball game ever at 18,516 fans, including my 6-year-old who stayed awake at nearly 11 p.m. as we were finishing, and he was deciding to watch it upside down, hanging over the seats from the upper decks at the arena in Kansas City. And so I proudly joined the senior senator and Husker Nation in congratulating these young women and saying "Go Big Red" on behalf of all 1.9 million Nebraskans. Just 2 stats of note. First, in the earlier round of the Final Four, Nebraska beat Penn State. Those are the 2 winningest teams in the history of volleyball. Nebraska has the most wins at 1,308. Penn State has the greatest winning percentage. We've now won 5 championships in 22 years, as well as 3 runner-up second-place finishes in the last 30 years. Coach Cook, as Senator Fisher mentioned, has won 4 championships at Nebraska over the last 17 years. The all-time record for the history of volleyball is 5 national championships, and we expect that Coach Cook will set that new record. So I join my senior senator in urging the Senate to pass this resolution for the University of Nebraska women's volleyball team. And I yield the floor.
Mr. President.
The Senator for Nebraska.
I ask unanimous consent the Senate proceed to the consideration of S-Res 365 submitted earlier today.
The clerk will report.
Senate Resolution 365, congratulating the University of Nebraska-Lincoln volleyball team for winning the 2017 National Collegiate Athletic Association Division I Volleyball Championship.
Is there objection to proceeding with the measure? Without objection.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, and that the motions to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.